We're going to dive into the April 2022 reading for all of my little Cancer friends out there. So whether you are a sun, moon, rising in Cancer, or maybe you have Cancer somewhere in your chart, or you have some friends who represent the Cancer nation, or perhaps family members, then maybe you can tune into this as well. All right, but everyone's welcome. Okay, so if you don't know, well, my name's Tara, and all of my information is down below. You can check out my website, my readings, my Leon Mystery School, my Patreon homies, all of that good stuff, my newsletter. But today we are going to, like I said, dive into the April 2022 reading. And I set it up first by doing an opening of the circle. So we'll do that. Casting our circle. And you don't need to physically be here for that. I do believe that energy doesn't know space or time. So, if you're listening wherever you are and whenever it is that you watch this, you're kind of within that circle. All right. So afterwards, we're going to be diving into that monthly reading. And then I want to pull a few cards for health, wealth, love, and career. So we'll look into those areas. And then specifically for our Cancer friends, your blessings and your blocks that you might come across in April 2022. And then we get to do a little bit of a viewer's choice poll. So anybody who's in the actual live chat today will be able to vote on one of two questions, that I'll be pulling cards for to get just a more broad perspective on what's going on in April 2022. And then we'll do a little bit of a healing. I actually have James's antique singing bowls here, so we'll go ahead and do that. I just really love the sound of them, and we'll of course pair that with my own singing bowl. This isn't antique though, but I'll pair it with those other ones. And then we'll close up the circle, and I'll be dealing my gratitudes for all of you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. So first things first, let's take a nice deep breath in and out, just centering ourselves so that we are open to receiving the messages, all the energy nice and calm. So just imagining those roots going down into the earth and breathing in once again, filling up the chest, the belly, the diaphragm, and out. Belly button all the way to the spine. All right, so I want to start by using my singing bowl here. Butterfly, what's up? And Sumi. So I want to use my singing bowl here, and it is connected to the heart chakra, kind of clear up the area. I love using sound for clearing. So here we go. So let's put that to the side, and I want to go ahead and light our candle. This time I brought in another yellow candle, but this one's like neon yellow. So again, all of that solar sun energy. Since we have had a change in season, us to the north, we have had our spring changeover, and those in the south have had a fall changeover. All right, so it's a brand new candle, so just give it a moment for the flame to go all the way down the wick into our little candle here. And Debbie's here, hey! All right, all lit and ready to go. That could mean something else. Anyway, let me grab my little cone incense here. I have it in my goddess stand, and just lighting the cone, maybe a little bit more. All right, so just using all of the elements. So we have air, we had fire with the candle, coming in with water now. This is my Florida water. And like I said, even if you're not physically here to feel the water, I'm using its energy. Just clearing everything out. Everything that doesn't serve us, so we have the clearest messages for our little Cancer folks out there. Keeping this area as high vibe as possible. All right, and then I come in with earth energy, and I'm actually using, this is my personal wand, so I bust it out every now and then, but this is actually a mosasaur tooth. So this is pretty old, it's about 90 million years old, and I have this awesome Ethiopian opal that I put here. So yeah, I like to bust this baby out. But anyway, I'm gonna call in the elemental directions for casting our circle today, and the north is off to the right of me. So here we go. So right now I'm just grounding, connecting, just kind of imagining source energy coming in through my upper chakras, into my heart chakra, and from my heart down my arms and out this appendage that I'm holding. Okay, directing the energy bright blue light, call in the elementals of the north to help cast our circle today. And I call in the elementals of the east to help us cast our circle today. And the elementals of the south to help us cast our circle today. And the elementals of the west to help us cast our circle today. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Misha's here. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Yay, so good to see you guys. Okay, so the decks that I am using today for our little Cancer friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, or just happen to have them in your life. Mystic Fairy Tarot, boom. Lavish Earth Oracle, boom. The Essential Oils Healing Deck, Wally's World Oracle, and today is Wally's 8th birthday, and his gift that I bought him showed up today. And then I'm going to use V from V Love and Tarot. This is her Feelings in Bloom Oracle. The Good Karma Tarot. Misha's like, and the Animal Love Oracle. Okay. So we have quite a few cards to pull out for our monthly reading here. Let's just go ahead and get started. Give me a bit of time to pull all of those cards within the spread that I'm using. I'm also going to pull an essential oil card and a few lavish earth cards for some crystals that you possibly may want to work with. But also a reminder, you don't have to have all of the crystals that I mentioned or any of the crystals. You might just want to meditate on the energy that you see in a picture or in a oracle deck that you may have. Of course, you know, having the physical crystal in your hand is going to be a different energy than actually just looking at its picture, but I still believe that you can get some benefit from looking at the picture. Okay, the spread that I'm going to be using for April is my bestie's Flowers of Spring spread. Because we are, you know, in the spring season now, but I do feel that even if you're in the southern hemisphere, the questions here do apply to that change of season. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, give me a moment to pull all of these cards first. All right, and cards are already flying out. I'm not even shuffling yet. Okay. All right, Cancer, April 2022. Cancer, April. And whatever their life needs nourishment, what area of their life needs nourishment. Just making sure I have enough room here on the floor. All right. One of their strengths that will help them through April. One of their strengths that will help them through April. What needs to be in their life right now? What needs to be in their life right now? What needs to be in their life right now? Excellent. And then give me a moment. I'm going to pull a few crystal cards. We'll take a look into all of this in just a moment. I just want to get all of the cards out first. All right, so what crystals can they work with in April? What crystals can Cancers work with in April? 1, 2, and 3. Boom, that was fast. Okay. All right, essential oils healing deck. I'm going to go ahead and pull an essential oils card. Okay, put that off to the side. And just a few more cards. Okay, how can they stabilize what's already blossomed? How can they stabilize what's already blossomed? Okay, and the final question, what door will open for them at the end of spring? What door will open for them? Oh, okay. All right, I guess that's the card. All right, so let's go ahead and Cancer, let's take a look at what you have cooking in April. So, all right, taking a look at the very first question here. Oh, Sheldon's here. Hey, Sheldon, how are you? And Susie, what's up? Okay, so very first question, what is hatching for our little Cancer folks in April? All right, so what is hatching for you guys or some of your Cancer friends or Cancer family? We have the Priestess. So we have the High Priestess. All right, so I do see a leveling up, you know, and this being a major arcana. By the way, I've pulled a major we're on to the 4th zodiac so far. This is the 4th time I've pulled a major in this position, so we'll see. I don't know. It seems like, you know, I mentioned it yesterday that this is going to be kind of a major month for a lot of us, but in various different ways. Okay, so what I'm getting with the Priestess here is this is a leveling up in terms of spirituality and awareness. So I know many of you have taken classes, you know, you're learning astrology, you're working with the tarot cards, you're, you know, going into meditation. We've been doing shadow work. Some people are, you know, going through various, you know, cord cutting and all of these things. And it seems with all of that, and although a lot of it may have been difficult, you know, it's not always easy when we do shadow work. And I mean, like, when is it easy? Shadow work or cord cutting, it's done a big shift in your energy. So that April, which is approaching soon, you know, next week actually, as the month progresses, those things that you've been working on, since you've been shifting, freeing up your energy, letting go of certain things, new things have already been coming into your life, new people, new experiences. And now it's this kind of awareness that you haven't had so much before, if that makes much sense. So let's, how do I give an example for you guys? So let's say, like, when I was a kid, you know, I was sensitive to spirits and, you know, things of that nature. And I wasn't sure if it was actually spirits, although deep down I knew that there were a lot of spirits in my home, as well as my brother and my mom. They knew that too. But there was always this, you know, it's probably just my imagination. I'm probably just freaking myself out. And there came a time later on when all of a sudden my awareness changed, and I just knew that everything that I could sense around me, those were spirits and other energies that I couldn't describe. And it seemed like I couldn't go back to the thought process that I used to have before, or the awareness that I used to have before, because I had grown. How I understood the world and how I saw the world had changed. And of course, you know, I was a bit older, and it didn't so much have to do with age, but all of, you know, the books I'd been reading, people I'd been talking to, other experiences that I had enabled me to kind of level up in that way in terms of awareness. And so I feel like the same sort of thing would be happening with our Cancer friends. You know, being a very watery sign, very intuitive sign, although we're all very intuitive, you know, all of this understanding, all of this learning that you've been doing, all of this shadow work that you've been doing is kind of going into this another stage of awareness. So just be aware. of that. All right, so going into our second question, what gift is being offered to you in April? And do we have justice? I'm trying to remember. There was another sign that got this card in the second position. That is so weird. I think all four signs so far have gotten justice in like within the first four cards. That is so interesting. Synchronicities much. Okay, so what gift is being offered to you this April? Okay, this is what I'm getting here. And it's actually a lot different than what the normal Rider-Waite-Smith meaning of the Justice card is. How do I want to put this? The gift that's being offered to you in April is being able to allow your personal life to balance out without much force, if that makes sense. You know, and I'm getting that with the blindfold. It's almost like you don't have to work so hard to try to balance your life because you're leveling up in awareness. And because you've been doing many things, working on self-love, working on, you know, all of that, it's like you don't have to be so conscious anymore of, oh, I have to make sure that I balance this with balancing this. It's more like a freeing, like a letting go. Like you already know what to do and no need to force anything. So I do see this gift of you being able to focus on the things that you want to and not just, you know, going into, oh, did I balance everything today? Did I make sure that, you know, I took time out for myself? Did I make sure that, you know, I balanced my work life, you know, and things like that. So I do feel this kind of like letting go, like things are going to balance themselves and I'm not going to try to create any sort of imbalance, you know, and if I work on just maintaining what I've been doing, things are pretty much going to remain somewhat balanced. So, all right, so let me go back here. I'm missing some. Let me see. Misha was talking about. Oh, it says, don't say pregnancy. All my friends are becoming with child, and I'm totally good. Oh my goodness. And then Luna saying, hello, fellow Cancer placements. I'm doing well. How are you? Misha said, hopefully justice for those jerks that terrorized me. I got a dash cam to feel safe. Oh my gosh. You know, I've always thought about getting a dash cam. You know how, you know, it's so hard to like retell how something happened, but if you get things on video. Susie said, I have Venus and Mars and Cancer, my South Node, past life, working on that. And Roberto is here. Hello, hello. Misha said, balance is always good. Susie sending hugs to our friend Misha. And yay, so nice to see you guys. Well, I see you guys energetically. All right, so going into our third question, what energies are going to help you to plant the projects that you've begun in April? So not the projects that you've begun in April, but the projects that you've already begun. How can you solidify them even more in April? All right. And then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so what I'm getting with that is because, like I said before, you know, all of these cards, they connect. You've been doing a lot of work on the self, work on your awareness, your understanding of the universe and, you know, this dimension and possibly other dimensions as well. The books you've been reading, the podcasts you've been listening to, music you've been listening to, the foods you've been eating, you know, there's kind of been this overhaul. It may not have happened all at once, but, you know, you've been at this for, I would say, more intensely, like most of us probably in the past year to two. And so with this kind of shift in things, what was once a Nine of Swords moment to you, kind of like, you know, you get all caught up in your head of like second guessing yourself, and kind of like we were talking about in one of the signs yesterday with Taurus, but not so much anymore because there's so much inner balance that your outside world is starting to balance as well. So again, it's this balance, and I think we were talking a lot about balance with Taurus yesterday. So every time you let's say a situation occurs, and normally it would be a going up into the head, like repressing the emotions and things like that. You see yourself doing something different than you have before. This is where you're like, aha, this is where my growth has been happening. And that is going to help that energy, being in that aware energy, conscious energy of like, I'm starting to make different decisions, just knee-jerk reaction, different decisions than I have previously. This must be all the work that I've been doing, and kind of, praising yourself for that, of course. But that's going to help really solidify the projects that you're doing because you have shifted your energy so much. You are becoming so much more in balance, which is awesome. All right, so going into our fourth question, what area of your life, Cancer, needs nourishment? Roberto said, damn right, you're right. Hey. Okay, so Cancer, what area of your life needs nourishment? We have the Eight of Cups. Oh my goodness, Cancer, my little water babies. I have some water here and there in my chart. I have a little bit of Cancer in my chart as well as, some Scorpio. And there is this tendency to reflect on things in the past as we do, because we're human, but to get locked into that emotion of the past. Sometimes air signs like myself, it's like a movie that goes on in our heads, things that happened in the past. But you guys tend to feel that emotion of the past much more intently. And so something that needs nourishment is not chiding yourself for looking back on the past and going back and feeling those things, but trying to understand why you're reflecting on that particular time period and why those emotions are still coming up for you so intensely. Not that we totally cut ourselves off from all of our emotions in the past, but why is it feeling so intense for you? And that could be a shining a light onto what could be next that you may want to work on in April in terms of, shadow work and, things like that as we do. So again, with this Eight of Cups, it could be time to, you're like, I keep remembering that one time back in 1989 and I still feel so intense about this thing, but it's silly because I was like, 8 years old at the time. Well, it's not silly. You're looking back to that past event for a reason, and you're feeling those intentions or those emotions so severely for a reason. Why do they feel so intense? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. So where you need to nourish yourself is not just to, not to get angry, like, oh man, why am I still thinking in the past? People say don't live in the past. I need to just, forget about that, and try to forget those emotions. No, they're there to shine a light on something that needs to be worked on. So just make sure that you're gentle with yourself and you nourish yourself, because shadow work is not easy. So we have to be very kind to ourselves as we're working through it. Let's see, Susie said air signs. I analyze. I hear that. Yep. I have a lot of air in my chart, by the way. And then number 5, what strength can you showcase in April, Cancer? Let's see. Well, more water for our water sign. We have the Ace of Cups. So one of your main strengths is emotion. I know that, I don't know why certain cultures, society, families, they like to, reprimand us for having intense emotion, unless it's a particular emotion, like, oh, if you show intense love, oh, none of that, or intense sadness, no, none of that. Oh, but if you're showing intense anger, like somehow that makes you strong. I don't know, but whatevs. You guys just feel, you're just empathic, just so many feelies, and it's your feelings and your intuitive hits that kind of help to guide you kind of throughout this world. It's your navigation. For other people, it's their thoughts. Other people, they navigate in other ways. But for you guys, it's the ability to go into a situation, feel out the room, feel out how that energy is making you feel, and the feelings of everybody else there. It's a lot of feelings. So it's the energy of the room, your energy, and the energy of everybody there. And you're able to kind of just walk into that and, okay, how can we balance this energy out? And I think I was mentioning this about, was it Aries? Aries has a similar way of doing this, but not usually with emotion, it's a little bit different. But you guys have that mega talent to be able to go in and you just know how everyone is feeling. And so you can utilize that to your advantage, kind of playing up to that or trying to help to neutralize that, or whatever it is that you want to do with that knowledge. And also, as emotions come in for you, you're very good at trying to sift through them, and this is going to help you to grow, because as you understand more of your emotions, you grow from that. And so this is your strength. Do not shy away from your emotions, as, like I said, certain cultures, families, society would have you believe. It's not a bad thing. That's actually it's just another way that we navigate the world, is through our emotions. All right, let's see. Let me go back here. Misha says, I've been complimented for being brave by crying around people when I felt upset. I was, wow, never thought about it that way. I just don't care. Misha said, because if I'm going to cry, I cry. Yeah, I've gotten better about that. I think when I was a kid, in my family, it was like, you don't cry. Even at funerals, you're supposed to have a stiff upper lip, be strong, and maybe the only emotion you can show is either just being happy, but not too happy, or angry. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. Families are... Okay, let's go into our sixth question. What area of... Oh, sorry. What area of your life needs refreshing? So we looked at what needs nourishing. We looked at your strengths. Now let's look at what needs a little bit of a refresh. Okay. So Cancer, you've been doing a lot of the inner work. You're very good at it. You're very good at, kind of feeling through emotions and things like that. But now it's time to take a lot of that knowledge that you have and your ability to understand emotion, understand your emotions, and put many of your ideas, and not just ideas, but your ability to understand emotion, into action. How can you have that benefit you and those around you by having the skill to understand emotions? So a little bit of action in April. So let's implement that. Let's help some folks and yourself. All right? Okay. I'm going into question 7. What needs to be in your life right now? All right. We have the Empress. So in your life right now, it's kind of a combination of what I just said. So like I said, you're very good at understanding emotion. You're good at understanding when you're getting intuitive hits. You're good at kind of reading people, not like tarot reading, but being able to kind of look into how they're feeling and what they're thinking almost. You're very good at connecting with people on that level. And like I said, you've also been very good at working on yourself and working on your shadows and things like that. So what needs a little bit of a refresh is all of the things that you've been working on. Yes, continue working on some things, but again, like we just had with the other card, it's time to start putting what you've learned, how you've grown, what you've achieved into action. What are you going to do with this knowledge now? Now that you know how to do a certain type of shadow work, can you help somebody else with that? Not everybody does their shadow work the same. So let's hear from you. What can you do? Not everybody does cord cutting the same. Not everybody, works through their emotions the same. Some people don't even understand their emotions. I'm somebody who gets too many emotions at once. I have a hard time understanding because I'm so analytical. My brain, is running a million miles a minute, and sometimes can become very disconnected from my emotions. How can you help somebody like that? So what might you be able to do? You don't necessarily have to become a counselor or a therapist, but what are some things that you can create, or what type of energy can you put out there to help people with that? So definitely some action-based nurturing Empress energy. Okay. Let's see, Susie said, sending you love and everyone have to run. All right, Susie, you have a great Saturday. Misha said, I knew that baby making card was going to come out. I'm not going to take it that way. Nurturing is better. I know, that's what you said at the very beginning. Oh my gosh, that's silly. All right, let's go into crystals. Cancer, what crystals can you be working with in April? And like I said at the very beginning, you do not need to have these crystals. You can merely meditate on the energy that you see in pictures, in tarot cards, and oracle cards. But if you happen to physically have the stone, all the better. All right, so let's see what we have first here. We have blue kyanite. Blue kyanite. Actually, I have a little bit of blue kyanite. Early travelers sometimes used blue kyanite as a compass when exploring unknown territories. Is there a need to explore your own inner landscape? Go within and discover the unique talents only you have to offer the world. Bring out into the world that which only you have to offer, because the rest of the world can hardly wait to see what it is. Dude, wasn't I just talking about that? All the things. Oh, thank you. By the way, here's some blue kyanite. Ha 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 ha. So we were just talking about, you've been doing so much work, so much self-care work, love work, spiritual work. You've learned a lot. You've come so far. Let's do something with it. You know, you've helped yourself, yes, and you continue to help yourself, as you should. But let's do something. Bring out into the world. Oh, embrace the part of yourself that is unique. This is an example and actually an extraordinary gift you can give to those around you. Show the world, boom, your genius. This lovely piece of kyanite here. Soak that in, my little Cancer baby. Soak it in. Okay, let's look at our next crystal. Oh, really? Moldavite. Hey now. All right, Moldavite. Do you seek an ally for an adventurous life? Look to Moldavite for its high vibration and expansion properties. Seeking adventure is a decision. Make the decision. Moldavite makes a perfect personal talisman for those beginning a journey or quest. Oh, thank you. Because of its chemical composition and extremely low water content, the general consensus among scientists is Moldavite was formed 15 million years ago by the impact of a giant meteorite striking Earth. By the way, look at this nice piece of Moldavite here. This is actually James's Moldavite. And since the light is behind the camera, I'm actually seeing the Moldavite glow. You guys can't see it so much, but so can the Moldavite goodness. Okay, our final card, crystal that you could work with, obviously it's up to you, guys, if you want to work with these crystals or not. Petrified wood, which actually we've been finding quite a bit on our property. Petrified wood is such a solid, true connection to the earth, our roots, our ancestry. And we just happen to have some petrified wood here that we're going to be listing in Desert Cauldron. Look at that baby. It drills home that we are connected to our past, and rooted in our past are all the tools and lessons needed for our personal evolution. Petrified or fossilized wood is formed when dead wood is saturated with sililic acid in the absence of air, and then solidifies through loss of water. Depending on the exact circumstances of formation, the substance of the wood is replaced by quartz or, more rarely, opal. So, like I said, we have a lovely piece of petrified wood here, and then here we have the petrified wood in the card. So, and I believe this petrified wood is from Madagascar. Sumi, you are not the first person to say this looks like meat or steak. Like James was saying that, and it's like, you know what? It does look like a slice of steak. All right, so soak in those petrified wood vibes. And we were talking about earlier in the reading about, the past, if there's a particular moment in the past that seems like it's been coming up again and again, maybe even the past week, couple of weeks, and there are still some intense emotions there, perhaps you might want to work with a little bit of petrified wood as you work through that emotion and that event when doing your shadow work. So just an idea. Okay, so let me put these off to the side because later on I'm going to put the singing bowls here. I don't want the singing bowls to crush the crystals. All right, then let's take a look at an essential oil. Ginger, hey! I almost used ginger today in our salad. Okay, ginger, soothing and stimulating. I'm seeing all of this action. Earlier you had the Eight of Wands. There was the Empress card that I was getting a little bit of action vibes off of. But all of these putting things into action, you know, you already know a lot of things. Of course, we're not all experts, you know, in everything. We're always learning, we're always evolving, we're always teachers and students. But you know enough to help someone else or many someone else's. So perhaps ginger can help you out. If you may have an allergy to ginger, you know, either the essential oil or the herb, the root as it is actually, then maybe you can find something that is equally as stimulating as ginger. So something spicy, maybe like chili powder or pepper, something like that. Okay, you know, let's pull, I'm gonna pull one more card. I just have this odd feeling that I need to pull one more card for the next position. So give me just a second. I just was like, wait a minute. I think I need to pull one more card. Okay. All right, so the next position asks how to stabilize what has already blossomed in your life. So how can you stabilize that in April? Let's see. Roberto was saying, blessings, fellow Gemini. Spirit just had you, handed you crystals as well. I am blown away. Debbie said, Tara, since you mentioned your property, are you going to build a bomb shelter on it? That would be cool. No, I don't think it's going to be a bomb shelter, but hopefully a shelter, a home, a home. Let's get the home in place. And then we'll start thinking about, you know, underground cities. All right. So Cancer, what to stabilize what's already blossomed in April. So we have the Four of Swords and we have the Priest. Ooh, this dude's coming out again. He's been in almost everybody's reading thus far. Okay. Okay. All right. So what I'm getting for this Cancer is, it seems like it's just a lot of the same theme, you know, for April. And that is, there's so much that you have learned. You know enough for this kind of cycle. You know, we're always going through cycles, and not telling you to stop learning, you know, obviously always continue. But there is this, no need to fret that you don't know enough about the completion of this next project, you know, things that have been growing for you. So no need to worry like, oh, I'm just like not good enough, or I don't know enough yet, or I wish I knew this. All in good time. You're making great progress. You're fully on your path. You know, people always wonder if they're off their path. I don't believe you're ever off your path, because our path is like, it's all over the place. And there's always something to learn, no matter where the turn takes us, even if it's through the scary woods, you know, there's something there. And so as you're trying to stabilize those things that are blossoming and awakening for you, no need to fret that you don't have the tools. You have enough tools. Yes, you'll learn and gain more tools along the way, but you have enough to stabilize this energy, this new energy that you're going to be going into, which is the High Priestess here of this next stage of awakening. No need to freak out about it. Chillax a little bit. You're doing great. That's like a huge message that's coming through from your spirit team for many of you, not just one person that I'm talking to. You're doing great. You're doing a good job. Maybe you need to hear that. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's go into the final question. What door will be opening for you by the end of April? Let's take a look. The Nine of Pentacles. All right, all right. So I was talking about balance before, especially with the Justice card that came up, you know, where you don't have to like push to put your life into balance. Your outside world is being affected by your inside world. You've been balancing so much of what's going on the inside that you don't need to worry so much about keeping a work play, balance. You know, you've been doing good at that. You're balancing your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health. It may not be quote unquote perfect, but who is? But you know, you've become pretty balanced. Your energy is a lot more balanced than it used to be, and that's fantastic. So with this Nine of Pentacles, because there is this interchange going on that has been, if you take the advice here, start implementing, putting into action the things that you have learned, you know, maybe helping others or just maybe creating something. Sometimes when somebody creates something like a piece of pottery or a piece of art or, you know, a novel, and it's coming from a balanced place, people feel it through the reading of those pages, or, you know, looking into the colors in the art piece of artwork, or touching the piece of pottery. They can feel that. In essence, that piece of energy being around them helps them as well. So like I said, you don't need to turn yourself into a therapist or a counselor. It's just you putting your stuff out there. That energy that you've created for yourself, make something with it and put it out there. And when you do, the door that's opening for you by the end of April is that you're able to get a beautiful reward on it. I'm not saying it's going to be all monetary, although it may be. I'm getting more that you feel like this is a rewarding new chapter of your life, of like, wow, like actually it felt good to make this and put this out there for people, or it felt good to talk to somebody about what I learned on my path, you know. And so there's this feeling of, yeah, it's almost feeling like you won the lottery, and it's more of like a spiritual lottery, emotional lottery. So, hey, that sounds good. Let's see, let's go back here. Misha said, I was gonna say, pull the 3D printer card. I'm debating on getting one to expand my income and have a lot of fun. Well, hey, you know, tap in your intuition. What does your intuition say? And making YouTube videos and engaging with the community has been making me feel fantastic. Then do more of that. Of course, and that's why I love, you know, doing my live chats, and why I decided to maybe try doing the monthly readings as zodiac signs, so that I could do more live chats, so that I can interact, because this is how I feel rewarded doing this, and I'm hoping that other people are feeling rewarded as well, so that there's, you know, this wonderful exchange of energy. As I learn things, I want to pass it on. As you guys learn things, let us know, you know, so we can all help each other. So Misha, I think that's great. Excellent. Okay, you know, my Wally deck was so far over there that way, I didn't pull the theme card of the month. So let's take a look quickly into the theme for April 2022. All right. Although I'm pretty sure I know the theme. It's putting things into action. Roberto said, absolutely. Misha said, you are fantastic, and so are you guys. That's why I like to come on here. I mean, if you guys weren't awesome people to hang out with, I might be like, no, but you guys are great. Your energy is great. You guys are all wonderful, wonderful people. And I don't need to physically see you guys in person to know that. Okay, so the theme for the month of April, we have this lovely image that actually I took when I was out snowboarding in Mammoth. And this is actually not Wally that's here. There's two cats in the deck that are not Wally. One's Presley and one is George. And so that is him here. And he was kind of at the tail end of his life when that picture was taken. So he's looking towards the sunrise, actually, up over the mountain. So a new day, new beginning. So like I said at the very beginning with the very first card, this High Priestess card, and actually these kind of look similar if you kind of look at the shape of everything, that there is a big change going on for you. There have been big changes going on, but it's just your awareness is shifting. So it's not so much like your environment drastically changes, but it's your awareness of your environment and yourself and what you're able to offer the world changes. So it's creating this huge transformation, kind of like this kitty cat here is about ready to transition in his life, and he did. And so here in the winter of this old, I would say, version of yourself, you're now transitioning and blossoming into something new. Although it's like still the same, but new. if that makes sense. So a beautiful transition. That's transformation, transition is your actually keywords, I would say, for April. Okay, let's then look into health, wealth, love, and career. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm gonna bust out V's deck. So this is our feelings in bloom, because the spring. Yes, I know not everybody's from the northern hemisphere in here, but I'm kind of got the springy vibes. All right, so let me pull those cards real quick. So Cancer, April 2022, health. Cancer's wealth. Cancer's love. And Cancer's career. Okay. Put these back in the little organza bag here. All right. Roberto said, oh, I love it. Okay, health. Perplexed. I will figure it out. This is wonderful. So, like I said, Cancer, you've been doing so much inner work, so much cord cutting, clearing, understanding, raising your vibration, your awareness, everything, that you're even more aware now when it comes to your health. So when you eat particular foods, before it may be, you eat something and then later on it's like, I don't know why I feel bad. It could have been this in the food I was eating, or it could have been this, or maybe it was this. And what I'm getting here is that you're much more aware of how particular foods are going to affect you, how particular movements are going to affect you, how your mood affects those movements and your food choices, how your mood is affecting your mental health, and how certain things you're doing for your mental health, how they affect you, what works and what doesn't work for you personally. And so when it comes to your health, I think that I just see you feeling things out so much better. Somebody could tell you, oh, hey, if you want to get in shape, you got to run 4 miles every morning. That may work for that person, but you, being Cancer, feeling things out emotionally, you're like, actually, no, that doesn't really work for me. But you know what I really love to do? I love to go swimming, or I like to play badminton, or whatever it may be. So you're drawn to the things that intuitively you know that your body's going to like better, and you go that route. So with this rise in awareness, this expansion in awareness, this awakening, another level of awakening that you're going to be going through in April, that applies to every aspect of your life, including your health. You're just much more aware how everything around you, what you put into your body, to who you surround yourself with, and the level of sleep you're getting, all of that all plays a factor, and you're much more keenly aware of it. So that is awesome. Misha said, yep, total water baby. Can't wait for it to get warm enough to swim. Yes, same here, because we have a few pools here at this complex, and I've stuck my feet in. It's still a little too cold. I mean, it's been 90 some degrees outside, but dude, I don't know about that. It's still a little cold for me. Sumi said, exactly. If water signs don't feel like it, nothing can make them do anything. Exactly. Oh yes, I know. Okay, so going into wealth, we have vulnerable. I establish healthy boundaries. Okay, this is another area of feeling things out. So now when it comes to money, physical money, the money that you're making, the money that's coming in, the money that's leaving, you're more keenly aware of your feelings towards money, feelings towards when you have to make money leave, hence like paying for stuff and bills and things like that, and more aware of how you feel when money comes in. These feelings are all indications of your core beliefs, and you're like, okay, that might be an area I want to work on, or you know what, I'm pretty aligned in this area, and that's great. So with this vulnerable card, I'm just getting that you have a better understanding of what money means to you. You know, oftentimes people have all these tarot spreads of like, where's our money blocks and things like that. For you, it's a feeling thing, you know. So like if somebody handed you money and the first feeling you get is guilt, whoa, why is that? You know, somebody's trying to do something good. They want to hand you money. They say, hey, thank you. And I want to, you know, hand you some cash. So you're going to start catching yourself when you're like, wow, why is it I always feel this way when this thing surrounding money happens? Why do I always feel this way when this thing surrounding money, when somebody's trying to give me money, when I have to pay my bills? You know, of course, not everybody likes paying bills, but some people really, really dread it. You know, they would rather have their teeth pulled than pay bills, even if they had the money to pay those bills. And so we have to kind of look into why are those feelings coming up? And so your feelings are like your greatest asset. So that's amazing. So I'm just seeing this opening up of growth with you guys. You're able to do so much with emotions, you know, and it's no wonder, you know, perhaps in this world, you know, when people try to get us to suppress our emotions, it's because subconsciously, you know, those in power would know how powerful we really were if we were that in tune with our emotions and our intuition. So it makes you guys badass. All of us. All right, let's go into love. Misha said, it snowed today and it's going to snow tomorrow. I'm in Pennsylvania. It sucks. Oh, that's way too cold to go into the pool then. I guess you might ice skate on it, maybe? Okay, so love. Insecure. I embrace my imperfections. All right. So this is an area to possibly work on, whether you're with somebody or not, or you're dating around or not. But it's you guys are so keenly aware of how the other person is feeling. You know how to make people feel good in all of the senses. You know how to do those things. Yet when it wants to get reciprocated, you know, people want to make you feel good. They're trying to figure out how you feel. It's like you're putting up a wall, like, I don't really want you figuring me out. And we might want to kind of look into why that is. You know, why sometimes you might feel self-conscious, even with somebody that you truly love and trust, let's say in the bedroom. Why you might want to put up walls and instead put the focus onto that person instead of having the focus on you, or, you know, looking at it as you're just going back and forth and having a balanced level of focus, you know, instead of it just being the one person. So it could be that you feel uncomfortable. You know, you might be picking up certain emotions or feelings from the other person and take it in a negative sense, you know, whereas you might feel that they're judging your body or judging the things that you're doing. And maybe not necessarily just in the bedroom, but in the relationship as well. So in this case, it is good to vocalize. With all this blue here, I see the vocalizing with your throat chakra, everything that you feel and why. Say, I have a feeling that, you know, sometimes you judge my body. Is this true? Or maybe let's open up a conversation, or I'm very self-conscious about my legs or something like that. And this is maybe why I don't do da 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 da. You know, so open that conversation, talk, talk, talk. You know, you're feeling all these things. Don't just keep them locked in your body. Express yourself, talk about it. It'll greatly improve your love life. So that's something to focus on for love this month, month of April. Let's see. Roberto said, I have not seen snow in person since I was 14. Really? You must live in a nice warm place. Misha said there's 2 guys interested, but yeah, def a wall. I'm not ready for relationships or being physical at all at the moment. Need to work on me. I said, well, Roberto, I'm jealous. Okay, let's go into career. All right. We have hateful. I release heavy burdens on my heart. Misha, thank you, thank you. So when it comes to career, I know this isn't applying to everybody. Deadly creature, hey, how are you? So that's my horoscope sign, Cancer. I am Pennsylvania near Harrisburg. Hey, you guys should chit chat. So like I said, this I don't think applies to everybody, but I feel like since sometimes, not all cancers, sometimes cancers tend to feel overwhelmed by certain emotions, especially when they feel like nothing has happened and they keep feeling that same emotion over and over again. It's almost maddening. So when it comes to career, what you do for making moolah and paying the bills, it may not be something that you totally jive with. And it may be something that is very emotionally draining on you. Therefore, there is a dread kind of going into work every day or dealing with certain people every day. And it's making it very uncomfortable times 100 to go into work. Sometimes there are people who are like, oh, just suck it up, it's a job. But there are some people that really, since we're all little energetic sponges, they really physically can't go into certain places for too long, working at a certain place for too long, because it's when you don't feel it, you don't feel it. And it's like, I would rather somebody pull my toenail out than for me to have to go into that place that just makes me feel so bleh, kind of like this black and white photo of this black and white flower, this rose here. It's kind of like all the color sucked out, like bleh. So you might want to take a look into what it is that you do for work. Like I said, this is probably not all cancers that are going to be watching this, but for a few certain people, if you've been feeling like it's so difficult to go into work every day, you might want to start looking into other jobs, maybe polishing off that resume, or start looking into going to work for yourself, but going into something that's more emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally rewarding than the one that you're in now, because work is, for a lot of people, it's the majority of our day, and if you're going to spend the majority of your day something that's sucking the life out of you, that's not good. And it's not good for you, it's not good for everybody that's around you, especially when you're trying to like level up and this whole awakening thing and you're wanting to make things to help people. It's hard to do that when you're just running on fumes. So definitely have a re-examination of what it is that you do for work, and perhaps some of the drain that you're feeling and the anxiety and all of that could be merely that you're just not a fit energetically for that job. You may have all the skills, you may be smart enough, but it's just energetically and may not be so. So just do a little reevaluation. Maybe there's just something within the job that you have to tweak, and then things would be just great. Maybe you don't need to find an entirely new job, but just kind of take a look into it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Deadly Creature said, cool necklace. Thank you. Got a little psychic thing on. Misha is near Pittsburgh. Roberto said, I miss seeing the snow from indoors. Forget the wet and cold. And Misha said, yeah, I get scared delivering at work near where that happened, but I'm working on it. But luckily my shifts are short and I make bank. Okay. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta shift something maybe within the job, maybe changing the hours that you're working, something like that. For some people, it might be just getting a whole new job. Okay, let's look into quickly a opportunity and a block that may come up for you as you're working on all of these things, or ones that you choose to work on. You have free will in April. So let's see here. All right, an opportunity for Cancer, April 2022. I just like saying that 2022. It sounds so futuristic. All right. In my brain, it's still 1998. All right, okay. Let's take a look first at an opportunity headed your way in April, my little Cancerians. We have the Chariot. So we have all had all these messages about you've been doing the thing, you've been learning so much, you've been leveling up, let's do something with it, let's create something with it, let's help some people with it, either through the things that you create or through counseling or whatever it may be. And there's an opportunity coming your way where you will be able to do just that. So just keep your eyes peeled for opportunities for you to showcase your strengths, being able to intuit things, do some paintings, do some cooking, do some pottery, make music, maybe counsel somebody, whatever it may be, start a YouTube channel. But the opportunity is going to be there for you to be able to help others merely with the energy that you've been able to balance within yourself, but also the things that you personally have learned along your journey, or perhaps even the things that you create. So passing that energy on to somebody else. So opportunities, at least, I'm seeing this as being a big opportunity since this is a major arcana card here. So keep your eyes peeled, Cancer. Keep your eyes peeled. And remember, also don't just like sit back and like wait for opportunities. Be like, okay, opportunity. Go out there, put yourself out there, of course, and then the opportunities present themselves. Okay, a particular block. We have the Sun card. You might be like, why the Sun card? How is that a blockage? Whoa. Okay, it's 2 messages. Let me see if I can remember both of them before they dissipate from my brain. Okay, 2 messages. The first block being the self-confidence aspect. To do this thing, to take up this opportunity. There's a bit of a self-confidence issue. Would people actually listen to me? Would people actually buy my things? Would people actually read my book? Oh, so you might want to work on a little bit of solar plexus energy, Cancer, to help you to start putting your stuff out there. The other message that I was getting was there might be some Cancers that might be, I've done a lot of work. I feel pretty good. Let's just leave it at that. I don't feel like really putting anything into action right now. Let's just leave it at, I'm doing good for myself. And that's great, but let's not get locked into complacency, because that might actually be a cover for that self-confidence thing, that fear of, what if people don't really want to listen to me? What if I can't really help people? That lack of confidence there. Don't let it be masked by, no, I'm good. Things are great. I just don't feel like, how we come, I don't feel like doing that thing right now. That might actually be a cover for the solar plexus. So just a little FYI. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go into, with you guys that are here, the viewer's choice. So there are a couple of questions that you guys can vote on. I do this during my weekly readings, which tomorrow, don't forget, we have our weekly reading. That'll be at 10 a.m. And then in the evening, we're going to be going into Gemini. So Gemini's reading for April 2022. But anyway, I do a viewer's choice poll during my weekly readings, and I ask people to vote with an emoji. Deadly Creature said, pretty flower pattern behind you, compliments your loving, caring personality to us. Oh, thank you. That's actually the new cloth I have for my altar for spring. Okay, so you guys vote with an emoji. If you like the first question that I'm going to read, then go ahead and give it a red heart. If you prefer me to answer the second question that I'm going to read, then you can vote with a green heart. Okay, question number 1. If you like it, vote with a red heart. What's my biggest lesson for April? So as a Cancer, what's your biggest lesson for April? If you like that question, vote with a red heart. Or, where do I need more balance in April as a Cancer? Where do I need more balance in April as a Cancer? If you prefer that question, please vote with a green heart. All right, so I give you guys a chance. Red hearts are talking about the biggest lesson for the month. Green hearts are talking about where to balance themselves for the month. All right? Up to you guys. Sumi's got the green heart. And I'll get the deck ready for you guys while you guys are voting. I'm going to use the Animal Love Tarot, by the way. This is such a cute deck. Do 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 do. All right, Misha voted with a red heart. Oh, it's 1-1. Oh, Roberto is supporting Sumi. So now we have 2 green hearts, 1 red heart. Do we have any other votes? Any other votes? Because otherwise looks like Deadly Creature doesn't know how to do the heart, but she's going to go with red. Oh, we are now tied. 2 red hearts, 2 green hearts. Do we have a tiebreaker? Do we have a tiebreaker? Roberto's like, sorry, Misha. Okay, so we have 2 to 2. We're going to need to have somebody come in with either a red heart or a green heart to break this tie. And in the meantime, I'm just going to shuffle cards because I like to shuffle cards. Oh, Roberto's like, pull me out. I'm a Gemini. Well, no, well, we can keep it. We can always just flip a coin. Ah. And I think I have a coin around here somewhere. Oh, I do have a coin. We're going to flip a coin, you guys. All right. Oh, thank you. Coins just appear. Okay, so we'll say red hearts are heads, green hearts are tails. All right? Red hearts heads, green hearts tails. Let's go. Whoa, whoa. Come on, there we go. Green heart tails. Asumi's like, oh, just ask. Oh, well, he brought the coin. So it looks like it's going to be the green heart. All right. 25 cents for your thoughts. Okay, so let's look. Where do you need more balance, my little Cancerians, in April? Where do you need more balance? Where do you need more balance in April? You've already been balancing the insides. Real good. So let's see here. Let me put these cards down. All right. Frog, regeneration, transformation, and personal power. Weren't we just talking about solar plexus and the sun card? A little bit worried maybe about putting yourself out there. You know, some people I know are very shy, but there's other ways that you can put yourself out there and you're good juju, sometimes by just creating art or music or stuff that you like to do on Instagram, maybe take pretty pictures and kind of put that out there. But it's time for you to really work on that self-confidence. So where are the issues of self-confidence or thinking that what you're doing isn't good enough or worried what people will think of you or if you have enough to offer the world, you know, all that stuff, where is that stemming from? So where to find more balance is you really do need to work on balancing that solar plexus energy. So when it comes to the heart, you guys wide open. Many of you guys are working on opening up your throat chakras. You guys have crown and third eye chakras just like, but it's really working on those lower chakras. So kind of the solar plexus on down. How can you work on grounding yourself more, you know, working on the root, working on the sacral, and helping yourself to open up in the solar plexus and what is keeping that block there. So more balance is going to be needed. So you may want to not only do a little bit of shadow work, you know, in that area, but also if you have other tools that help to align your chakras, you may want to use that too. Some people put crystals on their body to help them as they're trying to kind of go through some energetic work. Other people like to use pendulums. Some people will pull cards and maybe do a little bit of energetic work and, you know, can do things that way. But you're really going to have to work on balancing the solar plexus. So just a little something maybe you want to work on. All right. This is the part of our reading today where we are going to do a bit of a healing. So to make room for all of the messages and everything that I went over today, and like I said before, you can take some of these messages or leave some of the messages, totally up to you. You have free will, but let's at least get our energy nice and open. And maybe you can, if you're working on solar plexus energy, maybe open up the solar plexus a little bit for this kind of cleansing energy that I'm going to be doing with the singing bowls. I love the sound because it breaks up stagnant energy, and when things are all kind of in motion and broken up, it's much easier to cleanse things and work on things. So that's why I like using sound. So here we go. Let's bust out this singing bowl. So give me just a moment. And in the meantime, get yourselves all nice and cozy and ready to go. So bust out the blankie, especially those of you in the snow. Or maybe bust out a tea. Might be too late for coffee for some people. warm milk for some people. I never got the whole warm milk thing. It was kind of gross. My mom's like, oh, this will help you sleep. I'm like, but it was not good. Let's see. Sumi said, be careful counseling. You don't want to take on others' energy. Yes, so definitely working on boundaries as well. So you have to be very good, well, basically with anything in your everyday is just working on your own energetic boundaries and realize when somebody is invading those boundaries and, energetically speaking and also otherwise speaking. Deadly Creature said, I saw singing bowls on Amazon, but people said they weren't so great. How do I tell a good one from a better one that's been made? Well, I would say singing bowls are something that you have to handle. I don't think that I would really want to buy them off the internet. But if maybe somewhere in your area you can at least have a chance to touch the singing bowls and just kind of see how they sound to you, because really it's the tone that sounds good to you. These antique bowls, you notice they have a different sound. Like this one's a newer type singing bowl, and then one that's comparable, I guess, would be kind of like this one. It's just a little bit thinner, obviously a little bit more worn. Oh, the sounds just, it's so nice. So on that, let's get our sound on. So let's break up some of that stuff. Like I said, you guys, get cozy, sip on something that you like, and just allow yourself to be open energetically, especially if you're working on that solar plexus energy or the root chakra or sacral. Let's just open her up. All right, let me scoot backwards so you guys can see the bowls as I use them. Okay. Roberta said, how do you set boundaries when you are about to do a collective reading? I have to ground myself really well. So back when I first started on YouTube, I was just so excited to kind of do YouTube. My first live chats, I would be so tired after the live chats because I forgot all about boundaries even if the people weren't in the room. And so when I set them, it's my intention, and especially when the whole purpose of me casting a circle at the very beginning is also a part of my boundaries as well. So I'm reminding myself, reinforcement of my energy. If I feel something is starting to drain that energy, I just kind of nip it off, but I don't do it I'm technically doing it in front of you guys, but I'm not stopping myself and being hold on, let me just cut some energy. I just have gotten really good at knowing when something's invading my energy, and I kind of just push it out and then recenter and then go back to just focusing on the message. Let me see. Misha says, but if you end up getting one online and you like it, that's all that matters. That too, of course. Me, I'm just more of a hands-on person. I need to hear, I need to feel. Roberto said, I like the second one, felt that one. Well, you're about to feel all of them. So let's put this camera down. All right, and I'm gonna move these decks out of the way so that I can move more of these in your guys' point of view. All right, and so you guys get nice and comfortable, imagining those roots protruding from your backside, your legs, your feet, going down into the ground, down into the soil. Watch those roots twist in and out, meeting and saying hello to all the other roots in the ground of terra firma, all the plants, and all other people within the collective who are rooting themselves in Mama Gaia's core. We root ourselves into her because we are a part of her. Pull up that core energy up through your roots, Gaia's energy. Allow her energy to fill you, which is your energy. Sometimes we forget. Our energy is her energy is ours. At the same time, we're now imagining bright white, high vibrational light coming down through our crown chakra, down through our third eye, down through our throat, down through the heart, down through the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, the ground chakra, all the way back down to Mama Gaia. You are now a conduit of source energy and Gaia energy. And become aware of your breath, breathing in nice and deep. And as you do, focus on your intention for the month of April. On your exhale, all that you wish to release, all of the insecurities, all of the anxiety, all of the second guessing, everything that's preventing you from sharing your beautiful gifts, your knowledge with the world. Here we go. Continue breathing, and as you do, start bringing the awareness back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And if you wish to open your eyes back up again, please do so. All right, you guys, so we have come to the end. We'll do a opening of the circle, open it back up again, or closing, as they say. Some people say closing, some people say opening. I'm like releasing the energy. And then I want to go into my gratitudes. All right, so let me just move these off to the side, readjust myself. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the messages. Again, whether you have Cancer somewhere placed within your chart, or perhaps it's your sun, your moon, your rising, or maybe you just wanted to get to know some of your Cancerian friends and people in your family a little bit better for at least the month of April. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab my little mosasaur tooth wand once again. We have one more of these that's actually in the shop, and then that's it. I mean, because where am I supposed to get more mosasaur teeth? But I thought they made unique wands. Okay, so I'm going to start again at the north, and I just want to thank the elemental energies for helping us with our circle today. Thank you to the elements of the north for helping us to cast our circle today. Thank you to the elementals of the west for helping us to cast our circle today. Just imagining this blue light coming back in to the tip of the wand. Thank you to the elementals of the south for helping us to cast our circle today. Thank you to the elementals of the east for helping us to cast our circle today. Thank you, and so it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for popping in today. Misha says, thank you for your time. Roberto said, thank you for that. So yeah, and thank you guys. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with these. I know that it's less people kind of in the chat for now because we're kind of breaking everybody up into all their individual zodiac, but I am loving this so much. So if by the end of me going through all 12 zodiac signs, if you guys decide that this is something you kind of want to see every month, just let me know, because I dig it. I dig it. I don't mind doing this after dinner. This is like a lot of fun. I get to hang out with you guys. I get to pull some cards. We get to have a little chit chat. That's my thing. All right, so let me blow our candle out. All right, make a wish. And let's go into thanks. So thank you to everybody who is subscribed to my channel. Thank you to everybody for your likes, your shares, for the, just all around wonderful comments and coming on and hanging out with me during the live chats. Like, I appreciate all of that. Thank you to people who have gotten readings from me or who have gone through my Leon Mystery School. If you don't know what that is, the link is down below. I teach Mayan astrology in case you are interested. I also have my newsletter. So thank you to everybody who has signed up for my newsletter. I only send it out once a month, and that's all I send people. So thank you to the almost 200 people now that are signed up with my newsletter. So that's a lot of fun. And I want to thank, I feel like I'm on stage, like accepting everyone. And I want to thank my mother and father. And and I want to thank all of you guys for just your positivity and your wonderful energy and this community that you guys have created for yourselves. This is wonderful. I mean, I'm just the person that, popped up here on YouTube, but you guys are the ones that helped create this community, and I am enjoying being a part of it. So thank you for that. And also thank you to my Patreon homies. So Michelle, Surian, Brandy, Samara, V, Kirsten, the Silver Wheel Witch, Jason, Brian, and Kayla. So thank you guys, and thank you guys that were in the chat today. I hope you have a wonderful evening, or if it's early in the evening, have a great dinner. If you already had dinner, then have a great chillax rest of the evening so you can digest her. And I hope that you have a great Sunday tomorrow. And for those of you that maybe will stop by for the weekly reading, that is tomorrow, 10 a.m. It's technically Arizona Mountain Standard Time, which is on the same time as Pacific Standard Time right now. Can they just stop changing our times? So anyway, so 10 a.m. technically Arizona Mountain Standard Time, which is Pacific Standard Time. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, catch you later. Sumi says, happy Saturday night. Roberto said, many blessings to all, and to all a good night. So many thanks there. And thank you guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.